Greetings, Uncle Travelling Matt here, and this morning I'm at the Cave of the Seven Sleepers in the south of Amman in Jordan. And this cave is famous. I think anybody who's familiar with the Quran will know about this cave because there's a surah, the Al-Kahf surah, which is all about this story about these seven sleepers who they basically went to this cave, fell asleep, and then woke up about 100 years later. Now, I read this years ago when I read the Quran, and I thought, for some reason it stuck in my mind. I thought it was in Ephesus, in Turkey, and apparently there is a rival claimant to this in Ephesus. So if I get to Ephesus one day and go to that cave, then I can be sure I've been to the right one. I just won't know which one it was. But anyway, yeah, this is the Jordanian claim. For me personally, this has a particular resonance because after reading the story, I wrote two stories of my own based on this, and one was called was it called The Four Sleepers? I can't even remember what I called my own story. It was that long ago, about these four murderers who ran away from prison, and they went they ran up into the moors, and they found a cave, slept, and they slept for 100 years, and then woke up, and it was how each of them dealt with it differently. And then I did a Jewish version called The Four Sleepers of Jerusalem, which where these four Jews from I think it would be 18th century, or yes, 18th century Jerusalem or 17th century, went to sleep, and then they woke up in modern day Jerusalem, and it's how they cope with it. So, well, one's very happy because there's a Jewish state, one's very sad because all their Arab friends have gone, and then there's two that it's a more personal thing, that like their house is gone, and forget whatever the politics of the region is, their house is what matters, and so on and so forth, but then they all come to the Kotel, the Wailing Wall, to kind of come together, which is where the Jewish people come together. So yeah, they were my versions of it. Let's have a look at the cave itself, and also quite interesting, there's this little kind of cistern-y thing, which reminds me of the high point of sacrifice in Petra. I don't know if it serves the same purpose, if it's an ancient sacrificial point. It's on the mountainside, it could be. Anyway, let's go and have a look at the cave. Well, here we are in the midst of the Byzantine ruins, and there is the cave itself. I think it's a rock-cut tomb. I think that's what it is. Like the Petra stuff made out of solid rock, it is shut, which is a shame, but I have been to the cave itself. So there we are. The Cave of the Seven Sleepers.
Take the exit towards Queen Rania Street.
Ja, deze pizza is 100 kilogram hoeveel condensor. ב-1,890 שקלים?
כן, פרקלין חשמל.
חנויות ובאתר.
כן, פרקלין חשמל.
I'm now in the town of Salt, which was one of the major cities of the region before, and was actually expected to become the capital of Jordan, but they moved it to Amman. And apparently it reached its zenith in the Ottoman period. So lots of Ottoman buildings here today. I had planned to go to Jerash and Al-Qais today, but sorry. But apparently the weather it's going to rain, and there may be snow this afternoon, so people have been saying don't go up there today. So I'll put that off for tomorrow, and today it's Salt. So I'm around the centre of Salt, and I've seen a few of the old Ottoman buildings already, but this one, the Muasher house, I think that's a particularly spectacular one. So I'm in the museum at the moment in an old Ottoman building, and they've got this model of Salt, and it just shows what a very vertical city it is. It's all clinging to these hills, and that's one thing that more than anything else has struck me about Jordan. It all seems to be up and down hill. So you see that yellowy building, that's the museum we're in at the moment. So the main settlement is up this little valley here, but yeah, everywhere I've been in Jordan, it's been climbing up and down. I've never been a country like it. So that is model of Salt. So the museum's in one of the old Ottoman buildings. It really is quite a pleasant place just to wander around without any exhibits. What I will say here, they seem to be better geared up for tourists than anywhere else. I've been in Jordan. I mean, the tourist office was really well equipped, and the girl was really friendly and spoke excellent English. So I'm quite impressed. So this is an evangelical church, and it was built by the English mission during the late Ottoman time. And they built this hospital here, which is the Evangelical Hospital, or the English Hospital, which was the only hospital in Jordan, and it's still going today. And now they teach sign language and things like that. And in the grounds, there's this ancient tomb that they've turned into a memorial of Christ's resurrection, which is quite nice. I'm in the Orthodox Church in Salt, and this is a shrine to St. George. Now, quite what his connection with here is, I'm not sure, but he's venerated by Christians and Muslims alike here. He's referred to as Al-Khidra, the green one, by the Muslims. And this is his shrine in the church. There he is. Of course, he didn't come from here. He's meant to come from Lod, where Tel Aviv's airport is. But this must have some connection with him. And here is the church itself. It's a really beautiful, peaceful place. There's incense in the air. It's gorgeous. How old it is, I don't know. I read 17th century. I'm sure the foundations are much, much older. As always with Orthodox churches, I get this immense feeling of peace, tranquility, and holiness when I step inside. It's a beautiful place. I have to say, Salt is probably one of my favourite places in Jordan so far. I wasn't expecting much from this, but it's very, very nice. So, I haven't got that long left today. It's the middle of the afternoon because I stuck around in Salt for a lot longer. So I haven't really got time to go anywhere big. And in the Archaeological Museum, it mentions several shrines in the area, so I thought it might be a good idea to check some of these out. So this is the first one. This is the shrine of the prophet Hosea. I think it's Hosea in the Bible, and Hosea, if I remember rightly, is the one who was ordered by God to marry a woman who was no good, and it was seen as an allegory for how God had married the nation of Israel, who were also unfaithful. Yes, been married, ordered to marry an unfaithful woman. So I think this is the prophet Hosea's shrine. And if you have a look, there's not a lot inside. It just looks like a little mosque, if we're honest. But yes, there we are. Satellite is dodgy as hell, and it's not taking. Now my sat nav is dodgy as hell. It's not taking me to the right places, but I have found this next shrine because I'm not actually sure that the last one wasn't just a mosque. But this is the shrine of the prophet Ayub, better known in the Hebrew Bible as Job, the guy who had all the afflictions from God as a kind of deal with God and the devil. So this is the prophet Ayub, Job. So here's my third shrine, and this is the shrine of the prophet Shuab, who is known as Jethro in the Bible. Let's see if I can get in. And here it is, the shrine of Jethro from the Bible. And I have to say, I know nothing about Jethro whatsoever, except that Jethro Tull, who invented important agricultural implements, was named after him. And then after that, there was a prog rock band with the same name, so he inspired some great things. Jethro.